To the relief of all, initial squabbles subside, and they soon work out there's enough to go around. And of course, Spunny makes sure that he gets a lion's share. For now, the Pride seem happy, but in the next few weeks, Kevin hopes 2 more lions will join them, if they're accepted. With the new Pride settled, Kevin turns his attention to another problem. Thor is one of the lead stars in the White Lion movie. But with Thor's acting days behind him, Kevin is now facing a dilemma. Unlike all the other lions at the kingdom, he lives entirely on his own. The only other member of his pride is Kevin. Long walks through the reserve provide much-needed companionship. But despite Kevin's best efforts, he is increasingly concerned that Thor is lonely.
When the days go by and I've had a busy week, the only lion that really is in the back of my mind is old Thor, because I know he definitely needs some love and attention. Out of all the lions I walk with, this must be my favorite, because I know how much he needs this enrichment. This is really important to him, living as a bachelor. So, you know, whenever he sees me, it's like, come on, Kev, can we go for a walk? Can we go for a walk in the greater area? So I try and take him out more than the others, because they've got, you know, each other's company. Hello, my big boy. What you been doing? Hey, you having fun?
Kevin realizes he's no substitute for the real thing. He needs to find Thor some lion suitors.
Come on, boy.
But they will need to hold their own against this big male. Only 2 lionesses at the kingdom could fit the bill. Kasasa and Sabindi might just have what it takes. But Kevin knows it will mean splitting up one happy pride to form another that might fail. There's no guarantee that Thor will accept them. And until the lionesses are given contraceptives, it's not a risk he's willing to take. There's been a power struggle developing in one of the hyena groups. Hyenas live in a matriarchal society called a clan, ruled by the females. They use a complex range of body language and vocalizations to communicate with each other and establish their social hierarchy. To avoid conflict, males are lowest in the social rank. Out of the 5 hyenas in this clan, female Gina is the head. But her daughter Oslo is challenging Gina for supremacy.
Hey, what's up with you guys? Huh? Hey, Shans?
Kevin is keeping a close eye on them. But this morning he notices more strange goings-on.
Hey, what's the matter? You all acting nervous, eh?
And it turns out, for good reason.
Woody? Hey, what's going on with you?
Gina, the matriarch of the hyena clan, is nowhere to be seen.
Where's Gina? She in the den?
She's usually straight over the fence to greet Kevin, but not today.
We're all acting very strange. I guarantee you something's up. Eh?
He's concerned. So he goes to look for her in their underground den. And there's a big surprise in store.
What the? He's got some cubs. There's 3. She's got 3. This is very, very unusual. Hey, my girl. This is the first time she's had 3. I feel like a little kid on Christmas. I want to go wait to unwrap my present. She wasn't showing any signs of giving birth. But these guys are at least a couple of hours old. They're born with their eyes fully open. They can see, they can walk around, they can move around. This is amazing because she's actually very calm. Gina's a very protective mother. In fact, ferociously so. You could imagine she will protect these cubs at all costs.
When hyenas breed in the kingdom, just as in the wild, newborn cubs are sometimes cannibalized by rival adults and even their own siblings. If this happens, surviving orphans are removed to the kingdom's nursery for safety. Kevin will need to keep a close eye on the clan.
Turned out to be an awesome day.
For Kevin, one of the biggest rewards of all is watching young animals mature into adults. And of those closest to his heart are 2 lionesses he rescued as cubs.
Well, over here we have Meg and Amy, probably 2 lionesses that I'll never have a better relationship with. Our love affair started pretty much 8 years ago when Mom abandoned them. They probably weigh in at about 180 kilograms each. But their characters are so different. Although they've had the same upbringing, the same input, the same amount of love, the same amount of discipline, Amy is a little bit more reserved, sometimes can be petulant. Meg, on the other hand, is just the most boisterous, outgoing, fun-loving lioness you'll ever come across. And that's why I can go swimming in the river with her. She's just full of confidence. If I go in the river, she wants to go in the river.
Lions will usually try to avoid going in the water whenever they can. Meg's behavior challenges convention. This seems to be a sign of her extraordinary confidence in Kevin.
A big adult lioness coming up, rubbing her head on your face, feeling her tongue. It's like 80-grade sandpaper doing this. You can't stop them from doing it because it's their way of showing affection. So you've just got to endure the pain, and I tell you something, it's really worth it.
Kevin has worked with big cats for over 12 years. But he has faced criticism. Some people believe he is taking too big a risk with his own life.
Yeah, I get criticized all the time for the way I interact with the lions. You know, a lot of people say, do you really need to interact with them that intensely? And, you know, it's the only way I really know.
Kevin has devoted his life to most of these lions since they were cubs. He believes this is key to the success of his approach. By immersing himself in their lives, he can recognize their individual moods, what they like, what they hate, and where their boundaries lie. He refuses to interact with any lions he doesn't know.
So Meg and Amy are just those 2 unique individuals that I can do this kind of thing with quite freely. And truly, if I fell asleep in this enclosure, I honestly can say I fear not that they would jump on me and try and eat me while I'm sleeping.
In the wild, numbers of lions across sub-Saharan Africa have declined dramatically. Today, estimates stand at around 25,000, 80% less than 30 years ago. And white lions are the rarest sight of all, in the wild only found in a single area of South Africa. Kevin has been invited to discover just why white lion numbers in their natural environment are facing such a battle for survival. He is flying to the Timbavati Nature Reserve, part of the Greater Kruger National Park, which covers a vast wilderness area of more than 5.5 million acres. Between 2006 and 2010, only 11 white lions were born in the area, and only 3 are thought to have survived. Kevin has joined Ranger Patrick O'Brien and tracker Albert Ubisi to try and find them. For the last 3 months, they've been lucky enough to have regular sightings of the white lions near to their safari camp. They are keeping a close eye out for fresh tracks and spoor.
Lion tracks, let's go that way.
And they're in luck. If they find them, it will be the first time Kevin has seen a white lion in the wild.
So, yeah, we're not far now. We've been tracking the lions for some time now, and we know it's the group that we're looking for because we can see the adult females and we can also see the cub spoor. So it's just, I reckon, around the corner there. Albert's told us we should expect to find some lions, hopefully.
And a short while later, Kevin is rewarded with his first sighting of 2 of the rarest lions in the world.
This is awesome, man.
You know, since December, they've been in this area and have been moving around the camp and seems to be residents, which is great for us, of course.
No, definitely, definitely.
Not every day you see white lions.
White lions carry a rare recessive gene that inhibits the production of color in their fur. But they are not albinos. Their paw pads and lips are pigmented, and often their eyes are bluish instead of the usual golden brown. This rare recessive gene is carried by normal tawny lions in this region.
Tell me just the dynamics of this pride. What I mean, I can see the 2 whites and the 2 browns, but the females, males.
The pride which we see here consists of 2 adult lionesses. In fact, it's actually 3, which are between 7 and 8 years of age. One is not present at the moment. I'm not sure where she is. She's been absent from the pride for about several weeks now. Sure. 4 cubs.
Good condition, huh?
Yeah, excellent. 2 tawny lions, which are about 16 and a half, and the 2 white cubs, which are both females, which are approximately 14 to 15 months old.
Young lions, both tawny and white, have a tough time staying alive. As many as 80% of them die before they reach the age of 2. One of the greatest threats to any youngster is when a dominant male takes over a new pride and tries to kill the offspring of the rival male.
But I mean, that just goes to highlight how difficult it is for the white to survive. I mean, we know mortality in lions is high.
That's correct, yeah.
But I mean, the fact that these lions have made it to 14 months, that's a really, really
done very well,
good sign.
Luckily for these girls, both are females, and of course that's very important for the old pride and for us, of course, which means that girls always stay in a pride, they never emigrate. Of course, lionesses are the core foundation of a pride, and with these 2 girls staying in the pride, it just means that, of course, it's going to be great in the future to see these 2 girls grow up and become adults.
Isn't that going to be fantastic?
Can you imagine, coming here and 2 or 3 years from now and seeing these massive adult white lions hunting?
I'm going to be back, I'll tell you that much. I will be back.
Very impressive.
In captivity, white lion numbers are higher than the wild due to breeding programs. But in their natural habitat, Kevin believes their best chance of survival is to conserve the dwindling tawny lion population that carries the gene.
As you know, at the Kingdom, several white lions that I work with, and I've always just been maintaining that we should be conserving the tawny gene in this area specifically. And, you know, when I was told that these cubs were born, I was like, you see, I mean, that just goes to prove that there's tawnies carrying the gene.
You know, both mothers are tawny, and that clearly indicates that, you know, you don't have to be a white lioness to produce white cubs. And there's a very good chance, and maybe that white gene is a lot more prevalent than what we actually think it is.
And even more reason to be protecting these tawnies in this area.
Exactly, and this is what's so important about this area, is the fact, you know, this is the only place that they are naturally still found.
Yeah.
The trip has given Kevin time to reflect on the role he'd like the kingdom to play in lion conservation. if he can transform the park so it can open to the public. He hopes it will help inspire people to fight for the protection of lions in the wild. But first, Kevin must find a way to fund the kingdom. And he's about to find out just how tough this will be.